All right, let's make one thing clear. Icebox don't believe in no portals. Write it down. Hey, good evening, everyone. It's just about 4th of July. I want everybody out there to have a good time. Hey, hey, Independence Day, but be careful. Don't be blowing off no fingers or anything like that. So, y'all be safe out there this weekend. I know it's coming up, and I'd like to see y'all back next Saturday. We're going to have a special guest next Saturday that I'm looking forward to. I'll get back in touch with him here pretty soon after this weekend and make sure of. But I want to say a big hello, a roll tide road to Alabama Tide. I hope you're feeling better, bud. I owe you a phone call. I will get in touch with you. It's been really kind of busy. Uh, I've been on vacation this week, and so I haven't done a whole lot with anything. Just to be honest with you, went somewhere and made a trip back down to the South. And guys, I miss the South so much. Y'all just don't know. I've been up here for 4 years, and it's crazy. There's nothing like the South. The air smells different. The skies are just so much bluer. The atmosphere, the people. Man, I miss the South so bad, so bad. But anyways, good evening to Mr. Athens. Hope you're doing well tonight, buddy. I'm glad to see you tonight. Stephen Hicks, you're part of the reason I'm coming on tonight. Uh, Roll tide to you, buddy. And let's see here. Josh Inslee just come on. Hey, Josh, how are y'all doing? I will be posting a link, gentlemen and or ladies. Anybody that wants to come on and have a discussion with me, you're more than welcome to. I'm gonna bring up several topics, and it's been a while since I got to be on. I've been trying to put myself into what I call a kickback or set back and reset because you can get burnt out on doing this kind of stuff. But I'm also trying to, let me see who that was. Uh, yeah, okay, that's a buddy of mine. Anyways, I've been trying to do some studying for how to do better film qualities and do some filming, some recording for you guys. I've been asked about, and Mr. Athens knows what I'm talking about this little mini movie that I'm gonna try to make. I've got to get everything lined up. I'd like good photography, so I've been trying to study up. So, guys, I'm sorry that I haven't been on as much as I should have been, but I think you understand why once I get it all took the way I done it. And it doesn't mean I'll be doing any expert kind of stuff, but I'm hoping I can do some stuff that's going to be entertaining for you guys. All right, now we got several things we want to discuss tonight. A lot about some Bigfoot stuff. And I got some Stephen. I told you that he has been on several shows, and so have I. And he's been asking questions and stuff like that. And to me, no question is should go attended to. Let's put it that way. So, Stephen, if you got any other questions that you want to ask tonight or for a discussion about, you can put them in there, buddy. We'll talk about it. This tonight is just a bunch of guys hanging out, enjoying, getting ready for the weekend, and let's talk some Bigfoot stuff. Okay. So with that being said, we are going to be doing some campouts here coming up shortly. This is July. Before you know it, it'll be gone. It'll be into August, and we're going to be having. Oh, hang on just a second. I apologize. I need to do this. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can do this. All right. Do that. And go there. All right, there's your link, gentlemen. Anybody wants to come on? I do apologize. Like I said, I'm out here just talking. We're just going to have some fun tonight. But there's your link if you want to come on and talk some Bigfoot stuff with me. I expect Josh to jump on anytime soon. We are going to be talking about the campouts. But anyways, have I got a bug flying around here? I bet you I do. Anyways, in August, we're going to be having a camp out, and Josh Inslee is the one that's going to be holding it. And let me get over here. All right. It will be August 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and we will be leaving the 24th, which is a Sunday. All right. Now, after that, we're going to be having another. Josh and Old Bear is going to be the one that is basically the host of the one in August. The one in October is going to be Old Bear and myself. So if you want to come at either one, you get at the first one, you'll need to get in touch with Josh and or Old Bear, and they'll work it out and see what happens. I don't know if that one is open, but the one in October is. We decided to open that, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But let me go ahead. I don't like leaving guests hanging out. So let me do this. I don't care who you are. You're going to get this if you come on tonight. Hey, Mr. Josh, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, doing great. I'm glad to be on tonight. It's been a while, and like I was telling everybody, I'm trying to do a little self training to do some stuff later on this summer and possibly into our camp outs. And but just because we talk about the August camp out, don't go nowhere because I am going to be discussing some things that I think is going to be rather interesting. I don't want to linger
Okay.
on with people, you know what I mean? But like I
Yeah.
said, anybody's welcome to come on. I don't know if Old Bear's out there. I don't know if Richard's out there. But there's going to be several things we're going to be talking about tonight. The
I
August, go ahead.
yeah, I heard you saying about the August campout. We are going to make it open,
Hmm.
but there are a few exceptions to
Hmm.
certain people who as you well know, we had some trouble with them that aren't allowed to come, but we are making it open.
Okay. Okay. So open is, I guess basically they need to call or talk to either you or Old Bear to figure out if they can come or not. Is that right?
Uh, if there's been no trouble and them people know who they are, they're welcome to come.
Okay. Okay.
So
Now, I'll get to that in the October one. So I don't see no real restrictions as far as that goes. But I am going to address something here in just a minute. Is there any other things that they need to know about the August camp out?
uh
Let me say this. Let me say this, and I apologize, Josh.
yeah, go
Uh,
ahead.
Guys, we had a call, a little conference deal, and hey, Miss Sharon, I'm so glad to see Miss Sharon. I mean, I know she's all over the place, but she's just a lovely, lovely lady. I miss her. It's been a while since I've been on, so but I've seen her on some other shows, and I just missed her. I do. But anyways, good evening to you, Miss Sharon. Anyway, so in we done a conference call about doing some group cookouts.
Yeah.
And if you were not part of that cookout, you need to either come prepared to take care of yourselves or bring something that you would like to cook. Um, yeah, Josh, you might have to help me and remind me uh, about the what's for dinner. If I remember right, Thursday night when we get there, we're going out to eat, and
Yes.
so anybody that comes, you're more than welcome. I'm not buying dinner. I'll tell
No,
you that.
no, we can't.
Yeah, can't
That's going to
afford
be a
that.
little bit. Yeah, that'll be a little bit of a stretch to be able to pay for everybody. So you do have to cover your own meal if you go with us. Uh,
That's right.
uh, then I think Friday night we decided either it's you have both options. We're going to do tacos
hmm
or nachos, or you can make a taco salad. That
Right.
was
Right.
the way you could do it. And then Saturday night, uh, Bear had asked the question if we could do boneless ribs and what was it, pork chops? Do you remember?
I think it was pork chops. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna do that. So anybody that I mean, if you are not part of that meeting group and you want to eat with us, please bring stuff with
hmm
you to contribute. I mean, we're not leaving people out, but
No.
we would like to have someone bring stuff like either a side or at least something to contribute to the
Well,
food wise.
I would say this much, and I'm gonna address it on Friday night. Friday night we're gonna do tacos, but the plan is for Friday night we're gonna basically sit around the camp and do
Yeah,
some things there. And I thought that was real good because it tacos, you never know how it affects people's their gut,
yeah,
and that way they won't have to be worried about traveling and tromping out in the woods and a
yeah,
little Montezuma revenge hits you. So I thought that was when he said something about tacos and staying there at camp Friday night, I liked it. I really, because you never know.
yeah,
Sometimes there's more activity happening around the camp than it does going out and traveling around out in the woods. Sometimes. So
yeah.
that's a good thing. So we're going to try that this the Friday. Saturday night is he said something about now, guys. If you're coming and you're there for Friday, I don't see that there's going to be a big problem as far as eating wise goes. But if you are coming and uh, Josh and them know if you pop in, we don't know. We just can't guarantee that we can take care of you. But if you are coming, give them yeah Taco Bell trot. There you go, Steve. I like that.
Yeah, I do
But if
too.
but if you're coming and you let Josh and them know, tell them what you can contribute because Saturday night is like Bears wants to do is pork chops, and of course we're going to do them on the grill, and I think he said boneless ribs. So it would be yeah, Jared, it would be good to know, and that's why we're kind of doing these discussions tonight, and hopefully anybody that watches it that decides they want to come either later on after the show, get in touch with Josh. Uh,
Yeah.
matter of fact, let me do this. Oh, I believe this is one of the ways that you can get in touch with Josh, Buckeye Cryptid
Yep.
Society of Bigfoot Research.
Hold
I
on.
don't know.
I Icebox that the group site has
Mhm,
not been popping up on Facebook. For some
mhm,
reason, I had a couple people that were searching for it today, and
mhm,
I had to physically go in and add them to my group. So if
mhm,
you cannot get me on there, uh, you will see, look for a picture that's newer, and you'll
mhm,
see my wife and me up in the top on the background picture, besides my profile picture, but up in the background. That
mhm.
is my profile. Just go off the name you see on here, Joshua Inslee. If you see how I have it spelled on here, that's a better way to get in contact with me. I apologize. I don't know what's going on with my group, but for some reason, people aren't able to find it. And so I'm trying to go in and fix that. But I've gotten a hold of Facebook and they don't even know what's going on.
Okay.
So
All right.
that's something I'm trying to fix.
All right. Option number two. Bear's Dead a Bigfoot. He is a co-host with Josh this year, and I know his uh, YouTube channel is up and running, and he's also now on Rumble. Uh, but I believe you can get in touch with him through. I don't know if he's got a Facebook page, but anyways, you can probably put in Old Bears Den of Bigfoot on Facebook, and you probably can find him, or you can find him on YouTube. Either one, leave a message, and you can do it that way. Uh, Guys, while I'm talking about that, I don't put out my phone number, okay, and I don't put out my personal email, but to a select few. Some of the guests have gotten it, and that's fine. Nobody bothers me, and that's okay. Uh, I like it that way. But if you want to get in touch with us, okay, here's how you do it. That's Waylon Colbert. Okay, that's my buddy. I know he's had a tough time here lately, but if you send him an email, he will make sure that I get it. He's very good about that kind of stuff, and I'm hoping he's going to be back next week. We've got a special guest coming on next Saturday. It should be a great show. I know Waylon's looking forward to it, and I am too. But if you want to get in touch with me, I also have let's see here, did I put it in here? I also have a Facebook page. Okay, it's called Dirt Road Bigfoot, of course. You can go on there, and we're looking for anybody that wants to come on as a guest, host, a co-host, or if you want to get on here and tell your encounters, whatever, you just send me a message through that if you wish. I mean, it's open to anybody. I don't know if you have to be in the group to do so, but it's no big deal. You can join the group, and you don't want to be part of the group, get out of it. That's just, that way you don't, that's just one less you have to worry with. But that's another way that you can get in touch with us. All right, let me get out of that, babe. All right. All right. Well, while I'm on here doing this kind of stuff, before we move on, we'll talk about the Saturday night dinner. Guys, I've got Richard Farabee and Johnny Two Bears. I really highly recommend these two guys. This one is Johnny Two Bears YouTube channel, the Sasquatch Encounter Brigade. He does interesting stuff. He's like me. He doesn't have a whole lot of time, but he does a great job when he does get to come on, and he's worth the wait. Y'all go over and check him out. And we also have, let's see here, Mr. Richard Farabee with BFFFG Bigfoot Research. He's boots on the ground. Another wonderful guy that does a wonderful job. To me, he gets out there, and I know why he does what he does. And I think it's very commendable on what he does, and he enjoys it and enjoys why he's doing it. And y'all get over and check him out. Put some shorts out, walking through the woods. You get to see part of Florida you probably might not never get to see. And I enjoy that also. And plus, he put some music with it to entertain you. It's very good. Now, here's the kicker. Sasquatch Unredacted. I know most of these guys probably already know about this, but this is a Richard Farabee and Johnny Two Bears. They run this channel. They're a startup channel. They're doing very well. They're doing a lot of good interviews over there. Y'all go over and check them out. I enjoy it, and I would appreciate it if you would, if you have not. And of course, that's us. And guys, we appreciate each and every one of you guys. So y'all take care on that one. So now I've got okay, let me put this up there. There we go. There is our email, and that's how you can get in touch with me and Waylon. Dirt Road Bigfoot Facebook page. Again, there's Waylon's email that he doesn't mind putting out there, and y'all go over and get with us. Hey, if you want to come on the show, tell your story, or you want to get on here and just shoot the breeze like me and Josh are doing right now, you're more than welcome to. Okay. All right. Let's get out of that. Now back to Saturday. Let me see. Let me catch up. Okay, Mr. Athos, you be careful out there. We may still be on here. We don't know. But yeah, back to what Sharon was saying, it'll be good to know in advance, and she's right. But if you come on Saturday, or are you there for Saturday, bring, because we don't know. Pork chops and ribs are expensive, okay?
Yes.
And you can't just buy for unknown numbers, okay? So if you decide to come, let us know, and If you can't, let us know and you show up, bring some pork chops. I'm sure there's going to be enough side dishes there to take care of you, but we just don't want nobody feeling left out, none whatsoever. Okay, we just don't want that. So, just kind of take care of yourself if you can, and do it that way. All right. Now we're going to talk about some things, and I'm gonna voice my opinion about a couple of things before I really get into the subject, and I'm gonna talk about firearms. Okay,
Mhm.
I've heard a story, and it does not set well with me. I'm a I used to be a competition shooter, and there are safety rules and such like that that's involved, and there's certain etiquette that you need to follow by. Okay, uh, I'm all for carrying firearms. Uh, there, where we go, there are. I've been told that there's been mountain lions, pumas, cougars, whatever you want to call them, have been spotted in the area. I don't think they're very well populated. I just think they drift in every now and then. Is that right?
Yeah, they're not. I think there's only been three spotted in the park that
Okay.
I know that I've been told of to
Okay,
be aware of.
but we have never seen one, and I've
No.
been told that there are bears in the area, and it's the same scenario with them also. Uh, but not only that, you are Bigfoot hunting. Uh, we're in Bigfoot country, let's put it that way, and the stranger things have happened there. We don't want nobody putting themselves in harm's way.
Hmm.
I do believe in carrying a firearm. Um, I've got no problem with it. Protecting yourself. It's just, we all want to go and have a good time. The main thing we want to do is go relax, have a good time, spend time amongst good people, and eat some good food. And like I told somebody, what else you do when you go camp out? You just cook some s'mores on the campfire and that's it? Or, do you go on a hiking trail or I don't feel like going to no swimming pool or riding around town and visiting sites. You know what I mean? I like to
Hmm.
do another activity. I do plant medicines, and that's always a good activity for me. But uh, what else could you find better than going out at night and making some calls or looking for Bigfoot? That's just
Hmm.
whether you see one or not, hear anything or not. Just the activity itself is a blast to me, and I
Yeah.
enjoy it. You know, so, all right. So that being said, I heard a story that, and I'm not going to say who was involved or whatever. Guys, this Bigfoot world, you're going to have differences of opinions. Okay. I even said it at the beginning of the show. Bigfoot, I mean, Icebox don't believe in portals. Okay. I believe there is some other circumstances. You can say that you've seen a portal. That's fine. I don't care. Uh, But I think there's other things going on that can explain it. Or that I put common sense and reasoning first and foremost. And if it's common sense and reasoning puts it in the possibility of whatever someone is saying or whatever action is being done, I'm all for it. It lies there until it becomes quote as a fact. And I don't know how far you can go before you call it a fact. But if it don't fit within my common sense of reasoning, I'm not gonna accept it. I'll listen to you. I really do want to listen to you because if somebody had an encounter and they think they saw this or that, there's something might have happened before that I would really be curious to hear about. I'm not gonna call them a liar. No way. You know, I'm just gonna say there's something else going on that doesn't fit in my perception of what a Bigfoot is or what it does or where it comes from, for that matter. So, anyways, the story was two gentlemen getting into an argument, and one put his hand on his firearm. And I understand, I was not there, that he halfway pulled his firearm out. That's a no go. All right,
Hmm.
guys, it's just plain and simple. I don't care if it's at this camp out, if it's the one in October. If I hear about it again, you're gone, you're out. I don't care. I'm not the host. Of course, I will go to Josh or Bear and let them make the decision. But the one in October, I am part of, and I don't believe old Bear will argue with me one bit. But you're gone. That's just plain and simple. Uh, if you cause any kind of drama, you're gone. You know, we're there to have fun and relax. I sit here and tell you, I don't believe in portals, but I don't mind that you do. I don't mind that you come to the camp out and do an experiment, or you could say you saw a portal, certain part of the woods or whatever. That does not bother me, you know. But I'm not going to sit there and argue with you till we get mad at each other. You know, that's there's no reason for that. You know, we're none of us are experts. You know, I ain't even going to say I'm an enthusiast. I'm just one that's happened to see one, and probably know a little bit more than your average bear. Let's put it that way. All right. But if I see or hear anything dangerous, if you've got a problem, talk it out. If you can't, walk away. Let cooler heads prevail. Talk about it later if you want to, or don't talk at all. You know, it's it's no big deal. Differences of opinions. Everybody's got one. Okay. Mine's different from. Well, I ain't gonna say it's much different from Josh, but I can't really pick somebody that I would just totally disagree with. Uh, but doing a firearm deal, you keep your firearm on you. We don't mind that. I really don't. But draw it only if you feel like you're in danger. And when I
Hmm.
say danger, I'm talking about from an animal. Okay, whether it be a bear, cougar, or possibly Bigfoot. Whatever the reason may be, it could be a rattler. I don't know about Ohio, but we don't have rattlers over here. But it could be over in Ohio. I don't know. I've
You
never seen
well,
one.
you do have. There is two rat, or there's two rattlers that you really have to pay attention for. And I know where you're at in Indiana, they're not there, but
Right.
they're there. You have the timber rattler, which you have to contend with in both states, and you have something called a masas. I may be saying this wrong. Called a
I know.
masasa rattler, and
Hmm.
it looks a lot like your timber rattler. Them are our two rattlers we both have to contend with. But at Salt Fork, your main snake I would look for would be a copperhead.
Yeah, I would think so too. They're mostly going to be around your waterways, anyways, like
Yeah,
water moccasin.
yeah.
Right. But anyways, those are the reasons that you should be confident in pulling a firearm. Now, if you're showing someone your firearm, guys, keep the muzzle in a safe distance. Unload your firearm. Period. Drop the
Hmm.
magazine. Make sure to pull back, and make sure there is nothing in the chamber before you hand over your firearm for someone to check out. Okay, and make sure everything, the muzzle is always in a safe area. Okay, we don't want no accidents. We don't want nobody getting hurt. Period. And just do be safe. Be safe.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So now that that's covered, I'm going to talk about something else. Guys, people do experiments and they want to test this and that. I've done it myself. Josh has done it himself, and I'm sure there's other people that have done it too. And we don't mind. I'm going to say this: if you intentionally try to mess up somebody's experiment or what they're trying to, because you hear stuff, you want to try it, see if it works. So if you do that, and somebody comes in there and messes you up, well, that just ruined the whole thing. Now, don't if you put a trail cam up and you don't tell nobody, I come walking through, I unintentionally messed you up. Okay. You know, look over that, but if I'm out there walking around as I go by, I'm intentionally trying to mess you up. Or you trying to walk in behind somebody's tent or camper and you start making growls and this and that. Guys, this is, uh, yeah, you're right, Stephen. This has only happened once, and we're just making sure it doesn't happen again. It's hard, and you don't want to be mean about gun safety, but it's just a no go. You know,
And this is the first time it's happened, and
yeah,
at our camps. I've
yeah.
been going to Salt Fork, and sorry I took over Icebox, but I
No,
was
you're
going to
fine.
say this. I've been going there now for I think about 5 years, guys. I've never had an issue or even heard of an issue with this, and that's why I know Icebox wanted to voice about it,
I
You
do.
know, even if you're, you know, someone's telling you sternly or something, that's still no reason to pull your firearm. I
No.
mean, absolutely not. That gun is for your safety, and whether
Yep.
you're Bigfooting, and guys, I will say this, you can be going down some of them roads and you may get an unsavory character now and then.
Hmm.
That's fine. But
Yep. It's a
at
state
camp,
park.
yeah, and at camp, you know what? If you have someone that's walking in that you feel unsafe, 9 times out of 10, either I've spotted them, Iceboxes spot them, because there's
Hmm.
only one way in and one way out. Someone
Hmm.
has spotted them. Come talk to us. Or if someone started something with you, come talk. And it's happening at my camp out. Come talk to me. But the
Hmm.
last thing I want to know, I want to hear or be responsible is if someone shoots someone over an argument.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
last thing I want.
Yeah. That's just no.
Yeah,
So everybody, I guess, sees their point there. You know,
yeah,
it's just I heard it once, and like I said, I'm an old competition shooter. Uh, it was always safety first, and
mm-hmm,
I understand. You know, even in competition, when you put your hand on your pistol, you have a habit of wanting to pull. You know,
mm-hmm,
and I've been guilty of that myself, and I got like 1/4 of the way out, and it dawns on me, nope, not now, it's safety. You know, and I put it back
mm-hmm,
in. I think it only happened one time, but still, it was a wake up call. Uh,
mm-hmm,
I understand that, but I wouldn't argue with nobody. You know, we always believed in muzzle down range and everything else. And I'm gonna tell you what, USPSA does a really good job of trying to be safe as far as they can go. And I really appreciate them guys, and I learned a lot, shooting with them. But anyways, but we also talk about these. Uh, we've had instances of people messing with other people, and when I was told when I first come up here to Salt Fork, this one is supposed to be more family oriented and that nobody tries to scare nobody. Okay. That way, if you do have something that happens, you can, hopefully count on it being legit, you know.
mm-hmm.
Uh, but we've had people trying to play games, and that's a no go. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't care. You're acting like a child as far as I'm
yes,
concerned. Okay, you're trying to. I spend a lot of money. I got to spend a crazy amount of money to retag my camper, and I ain't had it not even a year yet. And I don't understand why I'm getting charged like this, but it's a unreasonable amount. But I have to pay it anyways if I'm tow this camper. And I got to put
mm-hmm,
gas in my truck. I got to buy food. I've got to get up there. Uh, in October, I'm gonna board my dogs. I spend a lot of money to go up and have a good time. I don't need to hear, play this game of being a child, of who's doing this or who's doing what. Let's go try to mess this up or arguments. Get on Facebook or get on YouTube just to try to make yourself look big. You're not to me. Okay, you're drifting away from what Bigfoot should really be about. It
yeah,
should be fun. It should be a search. It should be a research. It should be an investigations. It should be a great time, and that's why I
mm-hmm,
pay the money that I do to go do this kind of stuff. Uh, so don't mess with everybody's enjoyment just because you want to be a kid, okay? Or immature. And I've seen some people that's been immature about this whole deal. And I don't care if they say anything to me or not, because I'll tell you where to get off on what train you come in on. I really don't care. I'm not there trying to be Mr. Big and Bad. I'm not. I don't want to be. I want to be a good guy to be around. I want to have fun with people and just enjoy it. No drama, none. Just get it out of your system and go on, move on. I've heard of some stories of some people wanting to come in on October. I don't care. I don't care if I got on here and made an argument with you, or me and you might not get along the greatest. I don't care. If you come here to have a good time, be civil, and enjoy it, I've got no problem with you whatsoever. I mean, like Josh said, me and him get into an argument, that's fine. But I'm not gonna mess his relaxation. I'm not gonna mess his experiments up. I'll just leave them alone until cooler heads, and who knows, maybe later on, whoever thinks they're at fault, or they just both shake hands and agree to disagree, whatever, and let's move on and
Mhm.
have some fun. Let's enjoy the place. You spend way too much money to be stupid. Okay, and that's the way I look at it. All right. So enough about that. All right. I don't see what else I need to talk about tonight as far as the campouts news or the events that we've got lined up. By the way, the October one, if you want to come, uh, like I said, there's my guy, Flat Rock. I've been thinking about him so much here lately. I miss him. I love Flat Rock, man. I'm telling you, I was down close to Tennessee line, and if I had my camper, man, that's a long ways to go. I would have drove down there just to see him. Good grief. Uh, Flat Rock, glad to see you, brother. Glad to see you. All
Hi,
right.
buddy.
Anyways, uh, if you want to come to the one in October, uh, it's going to be the start date is going to be Thursday, October the 2nd. It is a reason we picked that month and time is because a lot of your encounters and eyewitness accounts happen in October. Okay. I mean, there's many reasons why I could go into, but I'm not going to worry about it tonight. I guarantee you Flat Rock will agree with me. Uh, well, there's other times too, but October is really jacked up. So that's why we decided to go in October to do another camp out. But if you want to go, you could send a request through, like I told you before. Uh, you can go to my Facebook page and Flat Rock. I hope you go over and join the group. I don't know if you already are not, but I would appreciate it if you did. It's Dirt Road Bigfoot Facebook page, and you can do a request there. I'll get in touch with you, or you can, if you want some more privacy about it, go to Waylon's email. Let me put that back up there for you one more time, folks, before we get into what I really want to talk about. Oh, there it is. That is Waylon's email, and that is my Facebook page. You can ask for a request, or just let us know that you want to come, and because we'll probably be doing some more group dinners and such, so we can plan better, and that way you have plenty of time to kind of get ready to go, make arrangements. I will say this much: in October, we're going to have hopefully two special guests. I know we got one. Going to be a speaker, and I'm hoping we have two. That way, I don't have to do one. Ugh, we don't want that, you know. I'm going to be the MC, I reckon, the way I was told. But anyways, it doesn't matter. But anyways, if you want to come, there you go. There's your information. Let me get that up there. Okay. So before we move on to what I really want to talk about, Josh, is there anything
hmm
else you want to address before we do?
Yeah, I wanted to say this. Everybody who normally comes knows normally we try to go out on Friday and Saturday nights. Saturday night we are going out and around and going to, if we have a big group, we're going to split up into small groups. Like you'll have Bear's group, my group. You can pick who you want to go with. I'm
Hmm.
going to leave that up to everybody. But Friday, we're going to do something we've done them before, but we're going to have a group meeting, but it's going to be a little bit different. And
Hmm.
I'm going to leave it at that. I want to kind of be a surprise. You know what's going on,
Sure.
but I kind of want it a little bit hush hush on that part
Hmm.
because we're not going to sit down and have like a group discussion.
Right.
What we want to do is try to do what we you already know what's going to happen
Hmm.
and that. So if you're coming to camp Friday night, just know we won't be going out at night that
That's
night.
right. That's
And
correct.
the tacos was another reason. You had mentioned the tacos. That's what made me think of them. And
Hmm.
I'm like, yeah, depending on the spices and stuff, a lot of people have to use the bathroom when they eat tacos. So we probably
Hmm.
not better not go out in the woods.
But there's going to be some side dishes too, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm one of those. I'm lactose intolerant. I will be putting cheese on my tacos, some
Yep.
sour cream. Tacos, my wife's got some spice blend that's really good. It doesn't mess me up, as far as
Hmm.
that goes. But there are other, and just in case, we don't want that to happen. Flat
Yep.
Rock, there is a link there, buddy, and I'm fixing to get into some topics that I wonder if you want to talk about with me and Josh. So you're welcome to come on, or anybody else for that matter, if you want to come on and have this discussion, because we're going to move on from the announcements and what we've talked about earlier, and there's some stuff I want to talk about, and I'm going to address them. Okay, and one of the topics, Josh,
Hmm.
that I seen. Oh, I don't know if it was on Old Bear's Den or if it was another channel, but it had to do with Patty, the Patterson film.
Okay.
And the guy said something, and I had forgotten all about it. A lot of people don't know that I used to be part of the BFRO.
Hmm.
And I would do interviews and study and look up stuff because back then the internet was fairly new.
Yeah.
And information is not as well broad as it was back then, or it is now, I should say. uh,
Hmm.
but anyways, in that there was a story that was put out that there were three Bigfoots in that Patterson film. Hello, Miss Sunshine, glad to see you. Yeah, it's a long time and I apologize for that. But tonight we're just discussing, talking, whatever we want to. uh, But at this point, I really do need to put in, uh, guys, if you got something, some questions that you want answered or to talk about tonight, go right ahead. I got all night long. I've been on vacation and then I got uh, some more time before the weekend and tomorrow, 4th of July is coming up. So I've got nothing else better to do tonight but sit here and talk Bigfoot. And that's what I'm doing. Uh, oh, hang on just a second. We got to do this. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Ah, there we go. I told you, if you come on the show, you're going to get the special guest buzzer. Hey, Flat Rock.
How you doing, Icebox?
Man, I'm just glad to see you. I really have, man. I've been thinking about you a lot lately. And I'm just so glad to see you, man. I really am. I
Yeah, I've
see
been
you.
looking for you.
Yeah,
Ain't
I've
been.
been on. I've been on a hiatus, man. I'm trying to train myself to do some things and hopefully to entertain some more folks and everything. So it's been taking a little bit and just kind of taking a little hiatus and trying to get myself ready to do some more interesting stuff. I hate sitting still. I hate sitting still. Yeah. But anyways, uh, let's go. Let's go on with the patty. It, what it was said back then, if you watch the Patterson film, you see her walking across, and Flat Rock is like me. He's talked to M.K. Davis and such, and other people, I'm sure. And I always thought it was curious once I got into the BFRO that there was this certain select group or somebody that showed the film to an older elderly Native American. Let's go that route. Uh, I don't believe that, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, the original Americans. Let's go there. Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, anyways, they showed him the film, and he started laughing at him and said something about, "Don't you see what's going on here?" He said, "There's three Bigfoot in there, and one of them being a youngster, of course." Uh, and it was basically just like the killdees or killdeer, whatever people. I mean, I'm from the South. We call them killdees, don't we, Flat Rock?
That's right.
Yeah. And what they do is they lay eggs in gravel and such. And if you come around, and they do it for any kind of predator, snakes, whatever, they'll act like they got a broken wing. So you'll chase them or try to catch them and leave the eggs alone. And then once they figure they're far enough away, they'll fly on you. Okay. And that's what was going on with Patty. And that's the assumption that this Native American put out there. Okay. And it kind of made sense if you want to know the truth about it. You know, uh, I don't know how. There go this thing. I hope it worked. I'm sorry, guys. I got a new seat, and I'm trying to work it out. But it kind of made sense. So I kind of want to know your guys' opinion about something like that. Have y'all heard something like that, or have y'all even uh,
Diversion?
well, that no, that there were three Bigfoot in the Pattersonville.
I also heard that as well. So I think somebody said something about that like 2 years ago that when I heard it.
Hmm.
But MK was trying to show it on the film, but it just wasn't clear enough for me to see that there was actually another Bigfoot there. But there is something there that's moving. Okay,
Hmm.
moves up and down. Like it's hiding. And but I couldn't tell if it was a Bigfoot or not.
It was kind of more like a blob squatch, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And it's not that it was a quote blob squatch, it's because of the grainy film, you know,
right.
from back then. Josh, you ever heard anything like this?
Yeah, I heard what I had heard. There were several in the film. Patty was walking and she was playing more distraction.
Mhm.
There was more young ones in the film than people were realizing were there, and it does make sense. I've seen that like particular behavior out when I've been out, where the grassmen females, if the males, and like I've told you, they run in five males. They have five males that normally do the hunting and everything else. If there's not a male back there sitting with the female, the alpha female will walk away and they'll leave the young ones kind of tucked in and hidden just to lead you off the trail where them young ones are. So it wouldn't surprise me if that was the truth of there being young ones in that film.
Well, now, does not deer do the same thing? They'll leave their fawns hidden and they'll walk away.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they do that.
So, I mean, you see, and that just adds to more to my theory of what Bigfoot really is.
Yeah.
Uh, you know what I'm saying? Uh,
Hmm.
it's an animalistic behavior,
Yeah.
and it's not just only in the animal world. We'll do the same thing. We'll try to distract a intruder or whatever away from our own kids. Make
Yeah,
them.
well, they do that. They whistle to do that too, Icebox. They'll whistle. And it'll pull your attention toward that whistle, but your
Hmm.
real attention wants to be behind you.
Hmm.
Because they're wanting you to look that way. I believe for a reason, for the family group behind you to move through without you seeing them. That's what I believe on that part.
Now, why do you think they actually do whistle? And there's a reason why I'm asking this, Flat Rock.
I frankly do not know. Me, that pastor that was over here that time, and his sons, both his sons were here. We were sitting at the campfire and we're just talking. And next thing you know, here's that whistle, just loud whistle, just come right out the wood line right there. And first thing I thought of, why is that sucker just gave away his position?
Yeah.
He just showed us right where he was. So the only obvious thing is, he's trying to get our attention to him for something else to go on behind us or off to the side of us. That's what I believe.
What about you, Josh? What do you think?
The whistling.
Hmm.
Well, one they'll use it for location. One they'll use some Bigfoot use it as communication,
When we talk
not
about this,
just.
Josh, we're talking about this that you're standing there and they whistle towards you. Okay,
Hmm.
that the diversion whistle.
It's not really a diversion whistle.
Well, that's what I was talking about. Diversion whistle.
Yeah. That.
It,
Uh, Go ahead, Josh.
well, spending time and growing up with these things, I've kind of learned what they try to do for diversion.
Hmm.
And the whistle is basically, if you're sitting there, say you're sitting by a campfire and you have three men and you hear a whistle.
Right
One, it's
towards
not. Yeah, right towards you. Okay. One, it's more just letting you know, hey, I'm here in the area, just to give you a heads up. It's not really to diverge or anything or give a location. It's just letting you know it's in the area.
Yeah, I can agree with that,
The
but it could also be
the
the diversion. It could be both.
the yeah.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Uh, I go out in my little particular area up here, and
Hmm.
uh, me and Ice Bunny, that's my wife's new YouTube name. Uh, we go out, and there's a certain area that I go to, and
Hmm.
when I say it divides out, it kind of goes like this. Okay, it splits off, and if we go to the right, and it's where I took old Bear down to. It's not every time you go down there, but it seems like more recently, and I've had it happen several times last year too.
Hmm.
But I start hearing whistling, okay, and it's not real close whistling, like it's say within 20 yards or something like that. But whatever it is just right there in earshot where you can hear it clearly, and it sounds like it might be, a certain distance away from you, but it's not right next to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And, and it happens to me, it's happened every time I went out there this year. And I've been out there, I think, probably twice, maybe three times. And it always in this one certain area. It's not to the left of me or the trail or behind me or up in front. It's always over here to the right hand side. Okay.
Hmm.
And I got to fooling around with it and I started whistling just like it. It's not a hard whistle. And as soon as I did, I thought about you, Josh, about
Hmm.
your whistles. Okay. And I started whistling and uh my wife, she's walking toward the edge of the trail and it answered back. And she turned around and looked at me. She said, "Did that thing just answer you?" I said, "Who knows?" I mean, it's not a regular bird that I normally hear, even in Indiana. I know I don't hear it down in Alabama. It's not a particular bird that I know of that whistles this way, and
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm out there messing around. I mean, it's still what I call that common sense and reasoning, you know.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure that it ain't really a bird. You know what I mean? Um,
Hmm.
but I still have my okay because if I hear a quail, man, I'll tear into one of them whistles just to get it to answer me. It's just fun. But I'm basically do the same thing to this whistle, but it's a little bit different. I don't know why I'm hearing this whistle, and I don't know what it's doing or why it's doing it. So I'm wondering. I have had people tell me, "Well, it's whistling at one of us, or it's whistled at me when I was alone." So I don't know if it's something whistling at me, or is it warning something, or if it's and when I say something, yeah, it could be a bird that's warning others. Uh,
Hmm.
Trust me, guys, I know a little bit more about birds than you think I do,
Hmm.
and I'm not sure that it's a bird. But if it is, it's either warning others, or it is announcing my presence, or if it's really, really could be like Flat Rock just said, if it's distracting me, trying to get me to look that way, because
Hmm.
I may be getting close to something that it doesn't want me close to, or it could be. I never really thought about it, Flat Rock, to be honest with you, that it's using a diversion tactic to allow, say, a young one or others to pass through a gap of some sort.
Hmm.
I never thought about
They
that.
There's three whistles that I've captured out here. That one whistle I was telling you about, when being that pastor and his sons were sitting at the campfire. The other one I got recorded is way back in the woods. I was here in the house and I was recording it, and it was almost like a serenade. Like serenade whistling. It lasted for about a good 5 to 10 minutes, and then at the end you'll hear it's like some boom, 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 like that on a log or something. The third time was when my son he got out of the tree stand over there and he started coming back around to the house, and whistling followed him all the way down that trail, all the way down. When right before he got around the curve and turned toward the house, that whistling just stopped. And I asked him if was that him whistling. He says no, that was something falling alongside of me back there in the woods. He said it was just a bird. I said, son, birds don't follow you down the down the path.
Right.
But them are the main three whistles that that I've heard here on the property. I mean I've heard a couple more whistles, but them are the main three. That distraction whistle, the regular whistling that you're talking about, and then the whistling that followed my son down that path. Now I don't know if they was whistling for him to go in the woods there or what. All I know is it followed him down the path whistling, all the way down back to the house. And them are the only three main ones that I can go by.
Okay. What was that noise that it was making after that second whistle? You were saying it said boom, boom, boom.
It was like it was beating on a hollow log at the end of it.
Yeah.
I'll send you that recording. I'll let you listen to it.
Yeah, do so.
Yeah.
Do so.
It was, I mean, it was like serenade whistling, and then you got like a tone beat on a damn drum.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. Now, Josh, you don't believe in that they're using it as a distraction, are you? Okay. Why are they whistling, in your opinion?
Well, in his case, he's heard 3 whistles, right?
Uh-huh.
3 different.
3 different.
The thing is you got to pay attention to the tone and the length.
Mm-hmm.
The tone and the length will give away what their whistle means. Your case, you're getting whistled every time you're there.
No.
You talking about me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You want to know why you're getting whistled?
Time. Yeah, I do.
Because they're now noticing you're going in that area. Have you seen, and let me ask you this, because this will lead up to if this is why they're doing that. Though one reason why I'm thinking this. Have you ever seen any of the broken trees and then they're angled down and you still have the tree standing up? Have you seen any of those in that area?
I have. If I've seen them, I don't pay much attention. Okay. My wife is the one that really does the bows. Now, these are, if there's any that is broken over, they're not twisted.
They don't have to be.
Well, I'm just saying, that's one of the giveaways that I've heard about is a twisted tree.
Yeah.
I don't pay a whole lot of attention to that because I feel like, as far as I'm concerned, it could be, it could not be, for the simple reason a tree, when it falls, it can twist. And what I mean by that, why did it break to start with? Okay. Well, second reason, if it starts falling, you could have a heavier limb on one side and it accidentally twisted as it on its way down. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, the reason
twist is kind of questionable to me.
Well, the reason I'm asking is normally you see them very high up and they're snapped off and they're angled down, kind of like if you have a slant on your roof, but you have the main tree that's standing up.
Yeah.
There's a reason behind those. And I found this out quite frequently. If you're walking past and you go in that area where the tree is still standing up, and you're past the area where the leaned one's down and you're on the other side of that lean, that's the no-go zone. They will whistle at you every time if you're in that area. That's why I asked if you're there. That whole basic tree structure of that particular tree structure, what it means is this is your side. Stay over there. This is where we live. This is where our kids are. This is where our basic habitat is. Stay out. We will whistle at you every time for a warning. Now, if you're going in there and you're getting whistled at coming out like Flat Rock's idea, like the way his son is, it could have been a young female. Young females are known if they'll either coo at you or they can they can come and they can whistle at you the whole way out, but without being in his woods and without hearing the whistle myself, because the whistle's been my thing since I was a kid that I've used with these creatures. Um, and I've figured pretty much quite a bit of them out of what the meaning behind them are, but without, you know, any other context and hearing them, it's kind of hard to distinguish what they're using what one for. Now
Okay.
yours, like a bird,
Yeah.
I would pretty much say it's not a distraction whistle. It's just basically letting you know, hey, we see you, we know you're in here. This is what we're over here. Just letting you know they're in that specific area, and they're just letting you know they're there, and they know
Well,
you're there.
I feel like if it is one, okay,
Uh huh.
it's always like I said in this one specific area.
Hmm.
It's not very big, okay, and it's always right. Well, yeah, it always seems to be in that one particular area. I feel like if it is one of these creatures, whatever, then it's basically letting the other ones know that we've got an intruder. Because it is a trail, people walk down it all the time. It says public
Hmm.
land, but you have to be a member to be on this particular property. I mean, you can have guests, but you see where I'm going
Yeah.
with that. You
Yeah.
have to pay to be a member there. Uh,
Yeah.
so, I mean, why is it always in this one particular area? It's never to my left. It's never on the other end of the trails. It's always in this one particular area. So it kind of makes you wonder if it is a bird that lives there, or
Yeah.
but why am I not hearing it somewhere else? It's got to fly around.
Yeah. Bird. I mean, if you hear a bird and you're walking, you're going to hear another one because they're going to sound off, and they're the first indicator to let something know there's something in the woods. So, what that would lead me to believe would be that it is just basically they're in that area where you're saying they're whistling,
Yeah.
and they're just letting people know, hey, we're in here. Just a heads up, we're in here. Just letting you know. And it's not really a warning or anything. It's just basically, hey, heads up, we're here. This is
Okay.
our area. We're just letting you know.
Okay. All right. Let me say hello to Sunshine that
Go
just
ahead.
come in not too long ago. Thank her. She's been saying some good things about the Patterson film. Uh, Wind Clan Ken. Hey, buddy. I'm glad to see you back in here, bud.
Hey,
Uh,
Ken, that's my cuz.
is that your cousin? All
That's my
right. Well,
cuz.
all right. Good deal. By the way, Ken, there's a link if you want to get in on the discussion. Just click on it and come join in. We've got nothing else better to do. Sit
Uh,
around and talk.
I suppose let me play this distraction whistle I'm talking about.
Sure.
This
Okay.
one that was also whistled straight at us. And you could tell this is a distraction whistle because it's wanting us to look right toward him, wherever he's whistling from.
Okay.
Right there. Here. That's one whistling right at us. That is not a location whistle.
No, that's not a location whistle.
Nope. That is.
That is trying to get our attention.
Now, let me say this, guys. Okay, we're all under the assumption that we're in Bigfoot country. Okay, and when I say that, I'm not. I'm 100% that Flat Rock is right there amongst the middle of them. Okay,
Hmm.
Mhm.
I'm 100% that Josh is right there. He may have to travel a little bit. I put up the argument that there are no Bigfoot up here in Indiana, the northern part, because it's so flat. Okay, and the woods are not as vast, and they're postage size stamp. Well, dummy me, I've got a corridor that's above me that runs a long ways that they can actually exist in, backed up with preserves and everything else that I didn't know about when I first come here. So I was proven, hopefully, I'm proven wrong. I mean, I found footprints, tree bows, or my wife found tree bows. Had some weird things happen out there when we camped out. So I'm kind of under suspicion that they are here. But so you two guys know. All right. So my question is that whistle that you just played, Flat Rock. Do you know for sure that come from one of them, or do
Oh,
you think it
absolutely,
might?
absolutely, 1,000%, 1,000%. I mean, it was right. It was right there.
Yeah,
We were sitting
no, I
right.
get.
This was another time we were sitting at a campfire, and it come from right there, no more than 30 yards away from us when he did it.
Have you ever heard that whistle before? And where I'm trying to go with this is, could it have been another bird?
No,
Okay,
no, too loud to be a bird.
at night,
Yeah.
play it again. I want to know if it sounds like a whippoorwill.
Oh, no whippoorwill. I can play you a whippoorwill.
Yeah, 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 man, you know whippoorwills.
If you'll listen right before that whistle, you'll hear another whistle.
A little
Okay?
small one.
A little small one. Let me back it up.
Yeah, I hear that little chip, like it almost sounds like a
Yep.
cardinal.
Yep. And that was distance away from us. That's the one we didn't hear.
Yeah.
That was up there. That was closer up front. And this other one was back here where we was at. And I'm sure that sucker wasn't trying to give away his position, knowing we were right there. Right there. No way that thing was giving away its position.
So you think that it's a distraction from the other
Yeah.
little one, maybe?
Could be.
All right, let me tell you this much, guys. When I first started doing BFRO, I got invited to, or say, a report in a particular part of Tennessee, and it was a couple hours drive for me. So I broke away, I think, from a Thanksgiving dinner or some kind of, I don't know, it might not have been Thanksgiving, but anyways, I broke out early, okay, just so I could go interview this. This was a deputy sheriff that turned in a report, okay, and I go out there and I'm talking to him, and we was talking to a lady that was a Native American, okay, and I'm sorry to say, but she'd married some people that were a little bit on the rough side, okay, and she got to telling me a story, and there was another guy that told me a story. The other guy, I will tell that other story probably later about the Native American, but the lady, she was very sweet. But this other story, this guy was sitting in his bedroom, had the curtains drawn, and he heard some kind of racket outside of his window, and he just gently pulled it back. And when he did, he seen two adults, male and female. I don't know how he could tell that in the dark, but I didn't question him. And he said he sat there and watched them, and they were looking out away from the house. Said they was right there beside him, and he could see them looking over the hill, you know. And they seen the young one, and he seen it too. And there were dogs chasing it. They never made a noise. They never made no racket. They didn't try to distract. They just watched to see what was going to happen with the young ones. And I know the young one probably got away, and I know how they get away. That's so extraordinary to even think about. And I'll go back to the Native American. She said she was sitting on a rock and looking over this kind of like a little bluff area, and she seen this young Bigfoot come out from the bottom of the hill and ran up the side of it and got to a particular tree. Well, the little young Bigfoot ran around the tree and then jumped in it. And when those dogs come chasing it down, they ran up to the tree, went around the tree, went back the same way they come in. They were followed by scent. And as soon as they got out of earshot, the Bigfoot jumped down, went the other way. And I've seen that in the animal kingdom in several different critters. It's a very good strategy. I've never heard of one jumping into a tree. But you see, my point is, where was the distraction for that one that was out there running by itself at night? Not the one with the Native American. I was just told that story just to kind of give you the possibility of escape for the other young one. But where's the distraction? Why wouldn't the two adults distract to get it away from the younger Bigfoot, the juvenile. I don't have no idea.
Man,
So anyway,
I can only tell y'all what happens over here. I know when we get close to them, they're gonna let us know. Now, I got close to them a couple months ago, a few months ago, when I took my dog out to use the bathroom at the last time of the night, and I was over here by my fence, and I heard the heavy breathing going on, so I just stood there and I was listening,
really,
and that's what I thought it was just heavy breathing. Well, you know, and that's what it did sound like at first. But then he started growling, and he started growling really angrily. And I got that all recorded, and it lasted for about 5 minutes. My dog finally, come up about the 3 or 4 minute mark, about 3 minute mark, started barking at him, and it started backing off. But this thing was right down pissed at me for being outside. Pissed. You want to hear it?
hey, I do. I got a question.
Go ahead.
No, 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 no. The question is simply is because uh, I've talked to Josh. I don't know if I've talked about this to you yet, Flat Rock. But when I went camping last year, me and a buddy of mine, and I'm gonna try to cut the story short because I got some other things I want to talk about here. Uh, but there was a raccoon that was getting around my Jeep, and I was trying to run it off, and I did. And then the second time it come back, I tried to run it off again. When I took 3 steps, I got thermal on. Not recording, dummy, me, you know. But I'm sitting there, got this thing on thermal, and I'm moving toward it. And we took about 3 steps, and a buddy of mine was standing right over my shoulder, looking, checking out the thermal. And we heard this low growl close. I mean, it sounded like it was just like 10 feet away, no more than
Yeah.
15 feet, and it
Yeah.
was like a, how you you start taking a bone away from a dog, it'll go like
Yep.
that, but only
Yep.
lower. And
Yep.
it acted like it had some lungs behind it. And
Yep.
I thermoed it, trying to
That's
find out
what you
what was.
got. That's basically what you got to hear here as well. This thing is.
That's why I want to hear this.
He's mad at me. For being in my own yard, but he was close to the house, and he got pissed.
I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Am I hearing breathing?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that's
what you're.
breathing.
That's the heavy breathing I'm telling you about. What's that tweaking? Is that me?
Sound like a cricket.
Yeah, that ain't on me.
It
I'm
might be Josh.
outside.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it might
I'm
be Josh.
outside.
Okay,
There is
okay,
crickets. There is crickets
okay,
out here.
okay. All right, here's where
Sorry.
he start. Here's where he starts getting mad at me. All right, my dog Boo just heard it, so he's coming toward me. Oh, that cricket is loud.
Can you pause it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The reason I wanted you to deposit, I want to say good night to Miss Sunshine. Glad you could make it. I understand. But come back and check the replay out. We'd love to see your hear your thoughts. Hey, please, guys, if you come on here and you got a comment or you want to say something, matter of fact, I put the link up. If you're still on here and you want to come on and just enjoy the conversation, come on. We'll be proud to have you. But anyways, good night, Sunshine. We understand and hope to see you back next Saturday. Okay. All right, go ahead,
Hey,
Flat Rock. Yep, yep.
Icebox, I'm gonna run in. I'm gonna still be where I can hear you, but I'm gonna run in and grab a drink real quick.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Flat Rock. So I still hear that heavy breathing.
He's actually growling. Let me get a louder one. Yeah,
No, I think I just heard it when I opened my mouth up when I said that. I think I heard the growl.
yeah. Just a second. I got a little better version of it, a little louder version. I don't think that one. I get back to where I was at.
Okay.
There's what it issue was. He's starting to back off now. He's getting further and further away. But that was at 10:30 at night, out here, just a few months ago.
Yeah.
And it was just growling the hell back at me. Recorders really can't pick up the loudness of those things.
I know. That's what
Right.
I was kind of thinking because
Yeah.
I thought I heard the growl in there, but I didn't hear much more than that one.
I'll send it to
Right,
you.
right. Okay. Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Yep, send that to me.
If I knew how to
Okay.
share it on here, I would. But I don't know how to share it.
I'll run it. I'll run it through the system, Flat Rock, and I've heard that growl somewhere else, but the guys that I heard it on, I come to find out, I think they're a little bit on the hoaxing side, but they had that growl that was just perfect. That was just perfect. So, anyways, so all right, you know, I'm gonna talk about a few other things before guys. Y'all want to take a break here in a minute because I've been on here an hour, 19, 20 minutes. You all know me. I like to smoke a cigarette every now and then, and I do not smoke in the house. But I will take about a 5 minute break here in just a few minutes, and we can get right back on it again. That way, everybody
Okay.
can go use the restroom, get them something to drink, stuff like that. If y'all don't care, is that
Go
okay with
for it.
everybody? Okay.
That's perfectly
All right.
fine with me.
All right. What I'm gonna try to come back with, okay, is all fours. Okay, and I want you guys to run in your mind, what you think about Bigfoot running on all fours, how they do it, or if they do it at all. Uh, I kind of want to get into something a little bit more about the raising of young. Uh, there's been some interesting. Richard Fairby's been putting up some interesting questions. I can go back on that and ask you guys about it. But anyways, I want to know facts from fiction. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say it this way, facts and fiction, you have your opinions about what really is factual about Bigfoot. Both of you do. I do too.
Mhm.
Okay. Like I said at the beginning of the show, icebox don't believe in portals. I'm not telling you not to. I'm just telling
Don't
you
believe in what?
portals.
Portals? I don't either.
You know,
I don't
that's just
either.
that's just my opinion. Well, there might be some that watch this channel, watch it later on, or people that we may talk to that. Oh, but I got an interesting story when I come back uh, about civilization. I'm gonna call it people that don't believe in Bigfoot. Okay, y'all remind me of that,
Mhm.
and I'll tell it to you. Uh,
Okay.
but portals is just. I'm not gonna get into portals. Let's put it that way. But my idea is facts from fiction. You know, I do these shows for fun. I enjoy it, entertain, but I use it as a platform to be serious. I'll joke, clown, and mess around too. But but when I put stuff out there, just like my handprints and that footprint, the bows and all that kind of stuff, that's real deal.
Hmm.
In my opinion, it might not be to either one of you guys, and it doesn't matter to me that y'all feel that way. I want your opinion, yeah, but it doesn't matter if you disagree with me.
Yeah. I mean,
It
we
doesn't
see
matter.
what we see, we hear what we
Exactly.
hear,
And you got to be there.
and that's all there is to it. You can believe it or not.
Hmm.
You've seen it, you heard it.
Sure.
So it don't matter what anybody else thinks to me. You
You,
know?
you you have to be, and that's what I'm getting at. You have to be there. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people, a lot of good people that's on not just my channel, Bears, other people's channels. You know, I wish I could sit here and name a bunch of good ones, but right now it's just too long of a list. Uh, Woodwalkers, a lot of good people on there that have different views.
Totally
We
different
wasn't,
views.
yeah, but we wasn't there whenever whatever explanation or encounter they may have had. We
Yep.
wasn't there. You know,
Yep.
do I believe in portals? No, I don't. But I want to listen to what you've got to say because there's a lot of similarities in different reports that we overlook because, well, they believe in mind speaking. Well, I don't believe in mind speaking either, but I want
Yeah.
to hear what they got to say, see what similarities and what may be causing them to think that way or believe
Yep.
that way. You
Yep.
know, so I'm not going to try to run them down. I'm just going to tell them flat out, well, I don't believe in it, so I want to know your proof and your side of the story, whether I believe it or not. I want to know because all that information, all it does is add up to later things. Okay, so now, do I think you're crazy? No, I don't think you're crazy. No, I'm never going to tell you you're crazy. Over medicated, perhaps, but not crazy. I'm just kidding,
I'll
guys.
say
I'm just kidding.
I'm crazy. I'm crazy.
I'm,
I'll say that.
I'm just kidding. I don't want no nasty emails, really. But that's just my opinion, okay? They have theirs, and you have yours, and I've got mine. But anyways, I want to know where do you separate facts from fiction? And I'm going to lead into it here in just a little bit, but I am going to take about a 5 minute break, guys. You can do whatever you want to do. I will take us off camera and I will put up a sign that says we'll be right back. And
Okay.
just give me just a few minutes and we'll be right
Yeah.
back. We'll delve off into this if you guys want to.
Yeah. I'm gonna run my
Sure.
dog out real quick.
Sounds good. All right.
All
When
right.
I see you come back in, I'll bring you on.
10
See you in
4.
just a few. Guys, we will be right back. Y'all taking a little break, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes or less. See you guys shortly. There we go. I'm back. All right. We'll give Flat Rock just a few more minutes. You know, let's see here. Yeah, here we go.
You
Flat
want to
Rock needs.
notice? I noticed something about his whistle. I was
What's
thinking
that?
about.
Sure.
He said that was at 10:30 at night, right?
Yeah.
No,
The
no,
growl.
the
No.
growl.
The growl.
Yeah.
What time was that whistle that you just played?
The whistle.
Here?
The when I questioned you if it was a. Yeah, you're here.
Okay. No, the whistle
I
was
see your glasses
somewhere
anyway.
close to the whistle was somewhere close to midnight.
Okay, something ain't making sense. You got that little whistle in it, then you got that big whistle,
Yeah.
Right.
and you were saying that was a distraction.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, something I know about birds, and most birds,
That's no
especially
bird,
like
dude.
cart. No, just
No
hold on, hold
bird.
on. I'm not. I'm. Hold on. Let me speak.
Go
And
ahead.
that the little whistle at first,
It sounds
even
like a
if that,
cardinal.
yeah. But you want to know something about birds? Though that's at night,
Yeah.
they won't whistle at night. You want to know why? It's too
Why?
easy for a predator to get to them.
Yeah. You know, I
So
don't hear. There
I
are
live,
nighttime birds.
yeah, yeah. But what I'm saying is none that would make that particular
That
whistle.
that loud whistle. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that no, that little whistle,
what?
first whistle
Well, yeah,
is
and
what
the
I'm
only
saying.
yeah, and I
Then
get where you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
and then you get the big loud whistle.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like, and this is, you remember back when we had that little one sitting there behind the tree at, when Gwen and all them we
I
were
do.
all out on 55. And I
Yeah.
said, let me whistle to Bear.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you know, do you remember me telling him I'm only going to do a very soft whistle?
I don't remember if it's going to be soft or not.
Well, little Bigfoot at night most of the time do a very small, very light whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'll get a big one that will do a loud whistle, and it basically is do not stray too far, or you've strayed too far, and they'll do it loud.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying it couldn't be a distraction, but hearing that little whistle in front of it actually makes me think that it was actually just answering that young one. Because
Mm-hmm.
when I'm,
So
especially
you're
hearing,
saying it's a callback to you,
it's a callback to that
or
little one.
it's possible callback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Interesting.
the only reason I say that, and the reason I say this about birds, is one, I have a river right down here. So I
Yeah.
have different terrain. Then I have the yard, which I have two trees. There used to be three trees here.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go just a little bit more, and there's a cornfield or a soybean field. So we get ducks, geese, all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Behind that is a woods. So in all three environments where certain birds would hang out, especially to, you know, like ducks or cardinals or anything like that, where they'd hang out, I know for a fact they will not whistle at that late at night because a raccoon will hunt a bird. Any
Yeah.
any any little animal that will prey on birds,
Yeah.
if a bird makes too much of a noise at night, it's either being attacked or it's a baby one that's fell out of the nest.
Now, Josh. Now we all heard the bionic goose that night, so.
Yes, but that was not a bird. That was something different. But what I'm saying is with this environment that I have around me,
Right.
it's very, and plus working with animals as much as I
Mhm.
have, it's
Sure.
very unusual and very, very rare circumstances for a bird to make a whistle at night, unless
Yeah.
you have certain birds that are out there at night, and even then, that's kind of a rare chance to hear them.
Right. You understand?
So that's what I wanted to say, that because I was thinking about it when we were taking the break, and it made me think, to stop and think, and I'm sitting there going, I know that I've heard that before, especially growing up with them.
Well, a
The
lot.
little ones will do little whistles just to play hide and seek with each other, and if
Well,
they get too far, the big adults will whistle saying, "Hey, get back here."
get your butt back here, boy.
Yep.
And that's the reason I like discussions. Whether we have differences, opinions, or whatever.
Yeah.
The possibilities, and
Yes.
it's always never fails. You'll think of something after the show or after. I've talked to
Uh huh.
Flat Rock plenty of times on the phone, and it's like an hour or two later, it dawns on me, man, I should have asked him or this or explained this because it would lead him somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hate that. That's the reason that break was probably a good break. All right. So let's get on to this. I
Okay.
oftentimes wonder, there's a lot of people that believe in Bigfoot and people that have never seen one, whether they believe or not. I'm
Hmm.
trying to get, when you saw one, Flat Rock, when you seen one, when I saw one, and countless of others, we wasn't planning on seeing something. We were not like we do now, like we go out and actually hunt or record or whatever we may do. And it's kind of, I can't, I'm trying to get people to imagine what would their thoughts be if they actually saw one. And, you go get people that's going to talk brave and, or people that's just going to say, well, I'm going to poop in my britches and run, and stuff like that,
Hmm.
Uh, I try to get it into their heads that, can you imagine if you actually saw one? What would your feelings be like? What would your thoughts be? Because a lot of times when you see something like that, your thoughts are just immediate, and it
Yeah.
seems like you could just about write a paragraph within a split second of what's going on. I mean, it was that way. Well, I say it was that way for me. I couldn't write a paragraph, but my first initial thoughts was so this is not something playing in my head. I'm really actually seeing this.
Hmm.
I already had a suspicion because there was evidence enough for me to have a suspicion.
Hmm.
And when I actually saw it, it wasn't really what I call a great big surprise. It didn't strike fear. To be honest with you, it never has. And maybe I'm just being stupid. That's when I say there's a fine line between stupidity and bravery. You know, but when you actually saw it coming down the side of that trailer and looking in at me, it was amazement. It wasn't no fear of nothing. You know, and I would just wonder what other people runs through their heads.
I can tell
Uh,
you what run through mine, Icebox. The situation I was in, I had no thoughts of them whatsoever. Never believed in them. I seen that one that morning when Bob was working on the cook shack. It looked at me. All I could do was drop my head and start saying, "Oh shit," and just thinking, just get back in the damn house. That's what I was thinking.
so
All
it
I
kind of
wanted to
struck a
do was
little bit
get.
of fear in you, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I ain't never seen one before. I never even thought of them before. I never thought they existed.
So what did you actually think? How did you? What I'm trying to process through my brain for you, Flat Rock, you never thought they existed. I'm sure
Yeah.
you've heard stories,
Yeah.
and when I say stories, TV,
Yeah.
maybe even the internet, I don't know, but you had an inkling of an idea of that these creatures are supposed to be out there. So even
No.
if it was the
No.
Patterson film,
No.
uh,
No. I didn't even
but
believe the Patterson film.
did you not?
Didn't even, I did not believe the Patterson film. Nope. Nope. Sure didn't.
So when you saw one, was it kind of like, oh my, like like Santa Claus and M&M? Oh my goodness, they are real. Is that
Yeah.
what you was thinking?
Basically, when I seen that one, all thoughts went away. I can tell you that right now. All thoughts went away. I was in total shock. I
Yeah.
mean, I knew what it was when I seen it because of you. You hear that stuff on TV, And you always hear the media always giggling, all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
You know, and you get brainwashed into that stuff, not believing these things are real. And that's basically where I was at. You know, I just never believed they existed. Didn't care about them. Never talked about them. You know, when they made Evergreen the Bigfoot capital of Alabama, you know, it became a big joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
And so, but when, you know, I seen that first one, you know, all I could do is just drop my head and total fucking shock, you know, excuse my language, sorry.
You're okay.
And
It's
just,
late
you
night.
know, drop my head and start saying, oh shit, just trying to find a way to get back in the house. You know?
Safely.
Yeah. I mean, that thing was big. I ain't never seen something that big before. Never.
Now, was it walking on two legs?
It was standing still watching Bob hammer on the cook shack, hammer the nails in the ceiling of the cook shack.
Hmm.
You know, and then and I was sitting on my mom's porch and I was smoking a cigarette, and I just happened to look to my left, and there was this big old black thing right there, and it just started slowly turning. I mean, I couldn't even tell you how slow it was moving. It was moving really slow toward me, twisting toward me. And it
Uh-huh.
finally locked eyes with me, and that's when I dropped my head and and started seeing that because it was just solid black. What no gray to it at all. It was just solid black. Skin and everything was just solid black.
Flat Rock
And
said, "I'm out."
that's all right. That's all right. Yeah, I dropped my head and sit there and start saying, "Oh shit!" I mean, that's what happened. Yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid to say what happened. That's what happened.
No. I'm not trying to embarrass anybody about
Oh
fear or
no, I ain't
whatever.
embarrassed
It's just
about it.
people react different, and I'm
Yeah,
trying to get people to imagine that have never seen one but believe or not believe, but especially the ones that believe. What is going to go in your? I'm going to tell a story of a guy that was on Sasquatch Unredacted with Johnny Two Bears and Richard. And the gentleman's name is Happy. Great guy.
I know, Happy. Yep.
Yeah, you know Happy. And he tells this story of where he was hunting. And long story short, he heard this yell or something like that that is basically made him pass out.
Yep.
He lost track of time. And
Yep.
next thing he knows, he's in his pickup truck with his rifle, and said had to cross a creek or one or two, I think, but it may be just one. But don't hold me to that, guys. But anyways, the story of his that goes is he wakes up and his shoes are not wet, his pants are not wet, but yet he's got his rifle and he's in his truck. He loses
Yeah,
all
I think
track
he
of
said he
time.
peed himself.
Yeah, I think he might have did. He might have did, and that probably happened when the noise first hit him.
Yeah.
Now I ain't gonna say infrasound or anything. I think that it was so loud, so close to him that it just struck so much fear into him that he was gone. He was out. Didn't know what was going on. People react different and they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Heck, the next time I go out, and that's something I was going to talk about, was that people want to see Bigfoot, but they want to see it in the same situation that I did, or Flat Rock. Flat Rock was from a little bit of a distance. Mine, I'm basically behind a pane of glass. Everybody wants to go see a lion, but they don't want to get in the cage with, like my friend Waylon says, and I totally agree. You're out there in the woods where it can get to you. It brings on a different type of experience. Me, I
Yes,
don't know.
sir.
I seen one go by, it never bothered anything. Well, there's something it might have bothered, but that's a story for a different night. Part of my experience with them, but I was in what I would call relative safety, even though I really wasn't. None of us really are if it decides to do something. Josh, what was your first experience?
My first experience,
Mm-hmm.
I had never heard about them, never knew anything. I was 6 years old. I
Mm-hmm.
was literally 6 years old. And my grandpa told us to stay out of a certain part of his woods. Well, that part of this woods is now cut down and everything.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather's no longer alive. So I built a brush shelter, literally a brush shelter to stay up there to see what in the world is going on. Why is nobody allowed up there? And I stayed overnight and I was laying there sleeping in the shelter. And I had the back of the head part open just in case I had to have two exits. And I'm sitting there and I'm asleep. And all I get is something. And I'll literally demonstrate was doing this. And I literally look up and I see a foot. I look again and I thought I was still half asleep. I look again and I started seeing ridges in the skin. And I look up and there's this hairy creature just staring down at me. And it was a male. I mean, it was a well endowed male. But my first thing was, well, how'd you get there? And I didn't hear you because he was sitting on the log. I was not scared. It intrigued me. It
Mm-hmm.
made me want to go back and keep learning more. I wasn't scared. I wasn't shocked. Nothing. I was just kind of in amazement. And I wanted to know more and more and more. And that's how I started to grow up with them. I
Mm-hmm.
just kept going back, was really stubborn. They finally took me in, and I got to grow up with these things.
Hmm. Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
See how I want people to really think about what they would. I mean, you got two of us that were in amazement. One of them that struck a little bit of fear. I don't believe
Hmm.
Flat Rock is just totally. Flat Rock is the kind of guy you piss him off, you done screwed up. You
Hmm.
know, if something like that was to try to do any kind of attacking, Flat Rock's gonna deal with that sucker. Trust me. Don't. Flat Rock's a country boy. You know, I know.
Right.
I
Yeah.
know what Flat Rock's gonna do. All right, but I brought up the subject before we went on to break, and I've never seen it. I've never seen it on film, but I've heard stories, and I don't believe, uh, you know, in my course of learning, because back in the BFRO days, you never heard stories like this. Okay,
Hmm.
and they would talk about, they're talking about 10 foot, 11 foot, 8 foot, 6 foot, whatever height you want to consider getting down on all fours. Okay. And it's a subject that's intrigued me here lately of why. Okay. I cannot imagine something over 7 foot tall getting down to all fours, moving faster than what it would be if it was walking on two legs. And then even going even further than that, spreading out to a spider crawl. That's amazing, to me. And but here we go back to common sense and reasoning. Um, Hang on a minute, I'm sorry. Hey, Vera Rex, how you doing? I'm glad you make it. We're just sitting there chit chatting. Uh, but anyways, I've often wondered what animals would do such thing. Okay, and I often wondered why people would think when they see something like this, well, it's just a bear, or when it's standing up. I mean, a bear and a Bigfoot is two different animals. I mean, bears got short legs. I mean, I've been watching enough videos and stuff. Their legs, when they stand up, you can definitely tell. Their shoulders are, hey, Mongolian monster, what's going on, bud? Glad y'all could make it tonight. Uh, yeah, Flat Rock's on here, buddy. Uh, when a bear stands up, you can tell the head, the snout, the ears, the shoulders are more sloped down, whereas a Bigfoot is more broad shoulders straight across. And I was listening to another story today that of a sighting, and the guy was talking about how big the forearms on a Bigfoot are. Hey, Blue Eye, always glad to see Blue Eye on here. She comes to see Flat Rock. But you know what I'm saying? So the realm of possibility of running on all fours is there. The spider crawl is there because I feel like the forearms is strong enough to support. It's hard for me to imagine it, you know, something that's 8, 10, 11, 12 foot tall. I don't believe our Bigfoot down here gets that big, as the Pacific Northwest. But I'm saying, anything over 7 foot tall, 6 foot tall, I'm not going to get down on all fours and have my arms spread out or my legs spread out and moving around like a spider. There's no way. I have not the strength or the capabilities of doing so. Okay. So I want to know your guys' opinion. Is that reasonable? Is that possible that they can do this? And I say this in reference to gorillas and chimpanzees and such. They can run on all fours quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They can move. Uh, the arms of a gorilla, you know. And here's something I like to point out. I've watched black bears and grizzly bear videos lately. And when I see something that fits into what I call my opinions of Bigfoot, uh, if you watch, there are cases or situations where I've actually sat there and watched bears. They're more or less in step, with each other. Okay, there's not a very wide pattern like when we walk. Okay, but when they get mad and they charge, some of them will get very low, and them legs will spread out more like I know it's kind of hard to do, but you know what I'm saying. Their legs will spread out and they get low, and here they come and they're moving. You know, so I'm wondering, is this a possibility with you guys that they can actually do this? And do you think that they're faster and the spider crawl? Are they capable? Because I can't see a 10-foot Bigfoot doing this. I don't understand why it would
I,
do this.
I go first. You got one of my footages of that one standing up, walking through my yard, and that other one that was low, the little smaller one on all
Mhm.
fours, crossing through my yard. There's
Yep.
another one I got up there that I caught on thermal. It ain't that great, but you can tell it's something big and another small one. Could be the same ones, I don't know, but it was out there close to the road. And I caught him running across. The big one, he's on two legs. The smaller one is on all fours. Now, do I believe the big ones get on all fours? Yeah, I do. But I ain't seen the big ones on all four yet. I only seen the smaller ones on all fours. Spider crawl, I can't tell you if that was spider crawl I seen, but I was sitting on my mom's back porch again with her. She was right there with me, was out there talking. And we watched a smaller one. And it didn't look, I can't tell you if it was spider crawling, okay? All I know, it looked like it was, slithering over a log and scooting up close to the edge of the wood line to sit there and listen to us. That's what it looked like. Now, was it spider crawling doing that? Probably was, but we didn't see the arms, on the ground or the legs. All we seen, it going over that log and coming closer to us in the tree line down on the ground. And that's the only thing I can go by, but I ain't never seen them, what they call spider crawl with the fingertips and the toes and all that stuff. I ain't seen that, no.
Well, I'm wondering if they even use fingertips. I've
I
I've
don't know.
seen prints of what people call uh, where their hands and their palms. They actually get the bottom part of their palms in there and move that way. I've actually seen pictures of that. What do you think, Josh? Oh, before we get started, let Josh go. I'm taking it by Blue Eyed Northern that Kenny has apparently must have started a channel. Ken, if you have started a channel, put it in, man. I'll come check you out. uh, be glad to. You know what I'm saying? If you've started one, yes, sir. It's posted up. I don't mind. I don't mind people posting their stuff and everything. I'm all about everybody can do whatever. But I want to come check you out, buddy. So put it in there where I can find you, and I'll check you out, man. Uh, Blue Eye says she's seen them belly crawl, not spider crawling. Now I have heard back in the days that the Skookum cast, and if you don't know what the Skookum cast is, it was a bunch of BFR people. I can't remember exactly where, but they had set up some bait on top of a log, and they found out that the bait was gone, and on the other side was a print of a large animal had come up there and took whatever bait it was. So it could have been apples or something like that. Uh, but they casted it, and they was trying to piece together where the legs and the body and the arms where it laid over on the side, basically reaching up and grabbing off the log. So I have heard of that part.
Yeah.
Okay, but now seeing one actually crawl, belly crawl, or not a belly crawl, but the spider, or even getting down on all fours, running around like a gorilla. See, it seems like to me the legs would be a little bit too long on a adult male to run around like a gorilla would. Josh, what do you think?
Okay. I can break this down to where one, I've never seen them spider crawl.
Mhm.
And growing up with them, you would think I would have seen that, especially
Mhm.
even with little ones. Now, here's the tricky part, and I'm going to explain this why you were looking at bears. I'm going to give into detail why you were about the bear and why a Bigfoot would do what they're doing if
Mhm.
they got down on all fours. One, their toe, a bear, when they get lower, their joints, okay, think of a dog as they're running.
Mhm.
You know how they come down and their joint, let me turn my phone just a little bit. Their
Mhm.
joint hinges back and you got push power.
Mhm.
And their toes are right here and can dig in. And that can actually create more speed because you got more traction.
Mhm.
That is why a bear will get lower because their joint will actually be lower to the ground. Their toes can dig in deeper and they can actually get more propulsion forward.
You're like
That's why,
track star.
yeah, that's the way a bear will do it. Now, a Bigfoot will do the same thing. Now, here's what the thing is when you're thinking about, okay, kind of, I'm kind of sitting this way, leaning forward, but it kind of tells, but the legs being too long, what they'll do is say this is the bend, they'll bend it down and be on all fours, but their feet, you know how they're more able to bend at the toes,
Yeah.
where our their metatarsal break can bend more than what ours can, having the arch. What they'll do is they'll actually put the more on their toes and that front little pad where the right before the toes, and they'll actually get down on that, and that'll push them, and they'll run on their knuckles just like a gorilla. It
Hmm.
actually gives them propulsion, and they can move faster. So if they're hunting or anything like that, like if there's a deer or a fast game that they're trying to catch, dropping down on all fours, they're able to get them toes more dug into the dirt and it can push them forward.
But I see what you're saying. Okay, but the spider crawl. Okay,
No, I never heard of, never ever have I seen one spider crawl. I've seen them,
but
I've seen them basically scoot on their belly and that, but I have never seen one spider crawl.
well, I wonder, like Blue Eye just said. She says I've seen them belly crawl, but not spider crawling. And I'm wondering
Yes,
if they were belly crawling is the same thing as what people are calling spider crawling. I'm just kind of curious about that.
I don't know. I've seen pictures where people's had them way out where they look like they're like spread out like a
Yeah,
spider.
yeah, I have
But
too.
I almost wonder if they're belly crawling and what they're doing is, you know how you said their palms? If they're
Hmm.
just using their palms and kind of scooting their feet sideways, kind of like how, you know how some of the military would teach you turn your foot sideways and dig it in and use the side knife edge of your
Yeah.
foot to dig in and push. I'm almost what I've always thought that's more what they're doing, just crawling on their belly and using that more than spider crawling.
See, like the Blue Eye says, there's no difference. And see, when I
Yeah.
was military trained, the belly crawl, you had elbows. course, you were carrying the firearm. If I'm belly crawling, I'm basically going to use my hands and the meaty part of my palm. Okay. I've seen,
Yeah.
like I said, I've seen prints from where the palm was in the ground, and I'm not going to give away what's going on. I'm sorry, that's funny. I got to put that up there. I used to belly crawl. So glad I quit drinking. Oh, Boggs. By the way, kid, you've started apparently. It looks like your own channel. If you want to come on, man, I'll tell you. I'll post the link up. We're probably not gonna stay on here too much longer, no ways. But if you want to join us a few minutes, you're more than welcome. So is Blue Eyed. She knows it. She's more than welcome.
Now,
Come on, we're just having a little talk discussion.
Blue Eyed and Joe, Pat, and Angie, they just caught. Well, Angie wasn't with them, but they just caught one of the best thermals ever to come out of LBL. Whatever this creature is, you tell us a cryptid. It turned right toward them and faced them straight up. Just faced them straight up. They was on the other side of the creek, but that thing, walked right toward them and presented itself right there in front of them. But they ended up being 3 of them on that thermal. They filmed that thing for 16 minutes.
Did they post it? Or
did
they come over?
Yeah, it's posted.
Because there was somebody come on Woodwalkers not too long ago and was showing a thermal video, what looked like to be what everybody was claiming as a dog man.
That's probably it.
Or possibility. Weird looking stuff. And I'm gonna tell you guys, Josh knows. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about dog man. I mean, one of these days, I will. I'll get on here and address the subject, but I don't want them to be real. And I love the fact that Bigfoot is. I mean, I embrace that. But you talking about something else that ain't got no conscience and don't care nothing about, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about no dog man, so I will hold out on that till I'm blue in the face, but one day I will address it, when I can talk about it and have some sense, All right. Okay. So I didn't think it was, who was it that was on there? I'll have to go back and look. It was a recent event, so I'll go back and look and see were they on any shows, Flat Rock?
Oh yeah, they've been on a few. They've been on a few of them. They've been on a few of them. Send me some. The video is awesome, just awesome.
Send me some links so I know that I'm talking about the right thing.
Okay.
Like I said, the one that I saw was on Woodwalkers.
I hope they
don't mind me. Yeah, I hope they don't mind me mentioning their show because I don't care. I'm not one of those that believes in trying to compete with people. I just try to do a good show and entertain folks and put what I know out there. You know what I'm saying? And what people I have confidence in.
Yep.
That's what I try to do. All right. Let's see here. All right.
Come on, Ken.
Yeah, kid, if you want to come on in and announce your channel, you're more than welcome to. And we're fixing to get off here shortly, so you don't have to stay on here too long. But man, if you want to, I'll hook up an interview with you or something, or you can come on and do a show with me. I don't care. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to do one coming up pretty soon with Patrick. He's one of those that's out there a little bit, but I like old Patrick. He's a nice guy, fun to talk to. Man, I really do think a lot of him. So, but me, him, and the Wendigo guy. I can't think of his name right now. As soon as I quit talking about him, I'll think about it. I know it's Trambo or I can't remember. Y'all know him. Y'all seen him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, but now I got to do this. Okay, hang on. Because I told you, everybody gets it tonight. If you come on, you're going to get it. All right. I just love
Hey,
doing that. Hey,
good.
kid.
Howdy, cuz. How y'all doing?
We're doing all right, bud. How are you doing tonight?
Doing good.
Doing good. Ken, won't you tell us about your show? What you got going on, and what you're trying to do, and what you're doing now?
Well, it's just a brand new channel. I just started up.
Tell the business we said hello.
They said hello.
Doing
Ice
good.
box.
I'm gonna
He
have to
said,
hop.
Go ahead, Ken.
I'm gonna have to hop off because I got a bad echo.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, tell
Got a
you what,
bad
Ken.
echo. I'll hop off. I'll get back on my phone.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll hop on with my phone.
All right, we'll wait on you. All right, let me go ahead and take him out till he comes back. There we go. Ryan, thank you, Miss Blue Eye. That's Pat to come through for me. Ryan Tremblay. Yeah, he's a great guy. I love them both. And they asked me if I wanted to do another show, and I told them, yeah, I would. They had a good time, which I'm glad they did. We just try to keep it real as much as possible and have a good time. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have them back on, or I may be on their channel, and if I do, I'll announce it. If you guys want to come check us out wherever we may be, so y'all come and see us on that one. But uh-oh, Flat Rock's in trouble.
yeah, my dog's sitting here begging.
Well, if he can hang on just enough to let your cousin come back on and announce his show, and then we'll get out here. We'll put our last thoughts together, and we'll get out if y'all want to.
No,
I've enjoyed.
he's wanting doggy bones. That's all he wants. He just wants some doggy bones.
Ryan stood you up in Arizona. Ryan's hard. I'm gonna have to tell you that, Mogs. Ryan is hard. Hang on a minute. Let me get Ken back on here. Hey, Ken, is that any better?
Yeah, it's a lot better. I don't know what's up with my laptop. It did that last time I tried to get on the show.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. You ever want to just give me a holler or something? Flat Rock knows how to get a hold of me and do you some practice runs and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It usually helps. I wished I had that when I first started too. You know.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm not a tech wizard or anything.
Same. I mean, I got a little bit of experience now. But why don't you go ahead and announce your show and what's the name of the channel and tell us what you're all about.
Well, it's brand new. The name of it is Native Voices and Lands, and my focus is going to be more on Native American history and culture, particularly the southeast and eastern parts of the country.
Now, when you say the culture, are you talking about the way they believed, or are you talking about cryptids?
Traditional beliefs, which includes cryptids.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be some of that as well. So,
okay. Hang on a second.
Where are you guys located at?
Myself, I am in Indiana. I'm up here around Fort Wayne, but I was born and raised in Alabama. North Alabama, to be specific, for 50-something years. I think I moved up here. I'm 63 now. I've been up here about 4 years, so I lived there since for 58, 59 years.
Okay. I'm in a little town called Flomaton.
That's down south.
I'm right on Florida line.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, due north of Pensacola.
Oh, I know where you're at.
Yeah. I could just about spit and it landed in Florida, so I'm that close.
Yeah.
But Flat Rock, he's about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, that was Native Voices and Lands.
Native Voices and Lands.
Okay.
See, I'm not by Icebox is the state over to me. I'm in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he is up. He's up there in Bigfoot cryptid country.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, I was talking to somebody earlier about I wanted to come to Ohio because several places. There's a lot of native history there too.
There's a lot of native, unmarked Native American burial grounds around me that people. I mean, there's a whole park. That's a literally a county park, and there's native burial grounds there. I mean, there's head dressings and everything people's found, and
Uh,
they just leave it open to the public.
really?
Hmm.
Wow. Okay.
But
You
but you have the Snake Mount or all the Indian mounds down in Newark. You have all sorts of stuff for Native Americans in around Ohio.
Yeah, I
well,
was
I
watching
love it.
a documentary earlier. What was Fort Ancient? They called it
Hmm.
in Ohio.
Yep.
I've been through Ohio one time. I think I spent the night in Ohio one time. But it's beautiful up there. It's been several years ago, but it was beautiful in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were on our way to New York. My son was playing in a baseball tournament in New York, so we were on a bus packed with kids. So I didn't get to see much of it, but it was really pretty. Country really pretty.
I don't care what y'all say. I just come back from Tennessee, Alabama line. Man, that was just beautiful country. I don't care. Ohio don't hold a candle to the South. So I'm sorry, Josh, but it just don't.
You're fine. You're fine. I'll be honest. I've never been to the South, so I can't say very much.
You would love it. Hey, I've been down where now I ain't been in walking in the countryside, but I could just about. I've been close to Evergreen. I've been down to Opelika, Lafayette. I've even been north of Pensacola, Fort Jackson, all that area. But that's been mostly from that point north. You know what I mean? Just wonderful country in the South. I mean, you just cannot beat it. You just cannot.
See, I've been
And
in the.
Cincinnati. Um, but now, see, now, like I said, I live in Indiana now. So I'm kind of what I thought or what I'm thinking. I'm in between good Bigfoot country. Like South Indiana has the possibility because it's right next to Kentucky. A lot of woods down there. You got Michigan. Michigan's got a lot of more woods, more
Hmm.
populations of Bigfoot. You got Ohio, but not the western part of Ohio. Not too much. Now you might from like Defiance on, but not what I call close to me. You know what I'm saying? So mine is more sparse. If you go west of me, uh, now you're running into Logansport, and there's more possibilities over that way. I'm in the middle of no man's land. I got to travel. Jeez.
If
But yeah, it sounds like I just, Ken, you just got another subscriber. That'd be me.
What's
So,
up, son?
oh, no, my pleasure. My pleasure.
I
Uh,
got one video on there so far, so
all right. The next one you do out there,
for
either
him
plug your
too.
ear or shoot me a bird, and that way I know you're thinking about me. Okay.
I hear you.
see, Icebox.
Yeah.
See, if you go maybe about 25 minutes from where I live,
Yeah.
what they call the Sasquatch Triangle in Ohio,
Yep.
I'm 25. I'm literally maybe less than 25 minutes away from there, from
Yeah.
the
I
start
hate.
one point of it.
I hate you, Josh. You know that. Stevie B, glad you could come on here. Now, guys, I hate, you have some new people coming in, and I hate to get off here, but we've been on here for 2 hours, 15 minutes, just talking, having
Yeah.
a good time. I hope y'all have enjoyed it. I know I have. We just got some things off my mind at the beginning of the show. And I mean, you can't beat talking to Josh Flatrock and even Ken. I'm glad you got to come in here and
Appreciate
announce
it.
the
Good to
show.
meet y'all.
Yeah, you're welcome back anytime. I'll do this
Appreciate
kind
that.
of stuff every now and then. I'll do guests, and then I'm gonna get into some recording, some stuff here coming up. Just having some fun. I'm gonna be amateurish about it, so y'all look over it. Just wish me to do better. You know what I'm saying? But there ain't no telling when I come on. Anyways, but we'll be back on next week with a special guest. Um, I can't imagine him being no more special than the ones I've got now, anyways. But he should be pretty good. We all look forward to it. Uh, Yeah, you done one too, Moggs? I didn't expect to go on for 2 hours, but you get Flat Rock and you get Josh, you got plenty to talk about, and it was
You
just
need
cool.
about 10 episodes with Flat Rock.
You
That
daggone
might
right.
that might get you started.
Now,
It
come
may be,
on,
a.
kid. He might be kid folk, but I will come to Flat Rock's defense in a heartbeat, brother.
Oh yeah, yeah. They
Yeah,
don't come no better.
yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I need to call him and just see him how well he is. I got a
He's
few other things I
biased.
did.
He's
He's
biased.
biased.
He's
Yeah,
biased.
I might
That's
be a little
family
biased
blood
myself.
there. That's family blood bias.
Oh,
That's
I
is
right.
it?
love you,
Uh,
Ken.
Hey, when I first met Flat Rock, the first time we met in person, I had no idea that we were related.
Well,
really?
I knew that he was, native descent, Creek descent, but I didn't know anything about his ancestry, and we just got to talking, and all he had to do was mention one family where he came from. Oh, I said, well, I know exactly who you are.
yep.
Yeah, I've
Yep.
been doing genealogy for quite a number of years, so
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. You,
names.
if you get on Flat Rock, you better hope it's me coming after you, cause not Blue Eye, cause she'll tear you up.
Yeah.
She said
Hey,
that
I
she's got
don't
his
I don't
back
mess
now.
with blue eye.
Ah,
No, no,
no
no,
way.
no, no.
Ken, so are you
Uh,
of Creek ancestry?
yes, I am.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
My identify as Creek.
mhm.
However, I've got a lot of different um groups,
Mm.
or you may say tribes. But I've got a good bit of Chickasaw. I've got some Cherokee. I've got some Lumbee. I've also got one ancestor that was Delaware.
Okay. So you're what we call
I'm a mixed mutt.
a Native American curl dog.
Yes, that's
That's
right.
what we.
That's the best
I
kind.
say that jokingly. You know that.
Oh yeah, that's the best kind.
Yeah, that's right. That's some of the best ones you'll ever have.
Yep.
All right,
Icebox, do
guys.
you have any Native American in you?
My grandmother was half Cherokee.
See,
Oh, cool.
Hmm.
my dad's mom was full blooded Cherokee. His dad was 50% Cherokee, and then my mom was 25%. So
I'm curious, and I'll probably get into it with Ken
Cool.
a little bit on this because I'm sure I'll be glad to have him back, and I hope you would agree
mhm.
to come back on, Ken.
I'll be
Uh,
happy to.
I'm kind of curious the difference in cultures between the Cherokee, the Creek, the Choctaw. Uh, because in Alabama, I believe it was what five tribes. I think you get into Seminoles, you get into Florida, um, if I'm thinking right. So it'd be kind of curious to check out the different beliefs in the cryptid world, and not only the cryptid world, but the culture of them. What's the differences and such like that? Because, like I said, my grandmother was half Cherokee. My mom was quarter, but by the time they say it gets to me, I'm not enough blood there to register. Let's put it that way. That's what I'm told. So
I got you.
I really don't care. I identify with anybody. I love the native culture. You know what I'm saying? It's just I wasn't raised up in it.
Right.
Raised up. I was raised up in the city, and but I always had a love for nature and a love for the woods. And trust me,
Well,
my
there's a
whole life
reason
was
for that.
yeah. I think so
You got a
too.
good reason for it.
Yeah, it's probably in my blood, and I just didn't know it. You know.
Oh yeah.
That's all I can think. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around the table, as always, to get your last thoughts. Anything about what we might have talked about tonight. Ken, I'm gonna let you go first. I want you to announce your show again, please, if you don't mind, and then we'll
Okay.
move on.
All right. The channel is Native Voices and Lands, and it will be focused on history, culture of Native Americans of the South and the East, part regions of the United States. But that will also encompass, some cryptid information, and anybody that hears or sees it, would love for you to check it out, subscribe. It's just brand new. I have one video, but I'll be making a lot more in the near future, and appreciate the chance to meet you guys and come on here with my cousin. It's always good to be on with him, and hope maybe I can make it up to Ohio, up that way in Indiana, and meet you guys in person one day.
Yeah, yeah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you, say it again while you're here. And I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I just about blew this. I was gonna try to type out your channel, and I will do that sometime this week, and especially by the time I come on next time, and I will promote your channel. So, I hope
Thanks,
you don't
sir. I
mind if I do.
appreciate it.
I hope, yeah, I hope you don't mind me doing so.
I appreciate it.
Well, I was going to type it in and do it tonight, but it started acting goofy on me, and I don't want to cut off everybody on the channel. So, anyways, I went back. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on. Josh, you got anything you want to say tonight?
No, just that everybody's welcome to come to the camp out, which we said we want it to be a fun and enjoying time. And Ken, we have a camp out in August. I do believe it's the 21st through the 24th. If you want to come up, yeah, you're welcome to come up. We'll be doing some Bigfooting and that. So yeah, if you want to talk with Icebox, he can give you the details and everything on it.
Okay.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
No
And we're also having one in August, or not August, in October the 2nd. It'll run October 2nd. It'll be on a Thursday. So you'll have Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. And we all usually pack up and leave by 12 o'clock on Sundays, Josh?
Yeah, I do believe you got to be out of there by 1 on Sunday.
Okay. So you're more than welcome to come. Of course, Flat Rock, you are.
Yeah, but I'm locked up on those, Bubba. Oh, even on the August one, I got to be in LBL the very next week, and then on the October one, I got a big research crew coming over here. So I'll be
they show
locked.
up about every.
I'm locked down on those
Yep.
days.
Yep. And I hate it, man. I tell you what, Flat Rock, we're probably going to do another one in April. Josh tries to hold one in April. We're going to see if we can't get you up here one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just
I'd love to come up there.
If nothing else, to say you come up here and spend some time with friends up in Ohio in a different part of the land.
Yeah, I'd love to come up there.
Yep. We're gonna see if we can make that. I guarantee I can make it happen. But it'll have to be in April, okay?
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good.
Be good? All right.
Be good.
That's a date, sweetheart.
All right. I don't kiss on the first date now, though. Okay.
Hey, you better watch it. There's some female Bigfoot up here that just might take that as a challenge.
We hearing some different kind of whistling going on. Guys, and I do apologize on the first part of the show, but I had some things to get off my chest. If you come and watching it and everything, just tolerate me. But I had some things I did get out there. But we are doing some campouts, and you'll hear it, everything. But anyways, everybody that come on with us tonight, Moggs, Blue Eyed, Ken, thank you very much. Flat Rock, Josh, Varax, Stevie B. I had some others. I don't know if they faded out, but that's fine. And I hate going all the way back. But anyways, guys, it was very much appreciated. We just got on here, have some fun, do some talking, shoot the breeze a little bit. It's been a while. Let you know what I'm up to. I'm trying to train myself to do a little bit better on filming. Not so much this part of the show, but
it ain't easy.
It's not, guys. I mean, I'm having to learn the cameras, angles, and lighting, and stuff like that. And I'm hoping it works out. I do have a little film I want to do in mind. It's just something for fun. It ain't gonna be nothing, no documentary or nothing like that. It's just something to have some fun with, and it's you'll ever see a fake Bigfoot or something with AI. Who knows? I don't want to fool with AI. Now I'm gonna tell you why. because I don't want to ever think that anybody thinks that I hoax, because I will not
That's
hoax.
it.
You know, so I'm kind of staying away from AI. Everybody else can have at it, but I'm not going to fool with it. My reputation, I feel like, is an honest one. I hope it is to everybody, and I'm going to keep it that way. You know. But anyways, let's get out of here, guys. Thank y'all for coming. Ken, appreciate you coming. Josh,
Yes,
you
sir.
know I
Thank you.
do. No, you're very
Hey.
welcome. Flat Rock, you gotta call me, brother. You gotta call me. Make it
Well,
soon,
I
okay?
sent you that growl over on your messenger.
Yep, and you need to send me I think
The
that other
whistling.
film. Yeah, the whistling, and you said something about you had another film. And guys, that
Oh,
just
that
I'm gonna say
thermal.
this.
Yeah, the
Yep,
thermal. Yeah.
yep. And I'm gonna say this much. I am totally flabbergasted and surprised that the video that Flat Rock, and I brag on it every chance I get. I bring it up. All right, we'll get off here, but I gotta tell you this much. I had some people that I talked to over the weekend or a week on my vacation. One guy does not believe it. He believes it's BS all the way. His wife is always interested because her dad or her grandfather used to talk about something that he saw. Okay, so I went and showed her and him the film that Flat Rock had sent me of the one walking in front of his house or in that light with the young one.
Mhm.
And to me, it's such an amazing video. Uh, why is it not caught on more so than it has? Maybe just because Flat Rock doesn't put it out there as much as
Yeah,
he
I don't
should.
promote. I don't promote it all.
Yeah, you don't promote it at all, and I'm out there. I want people to see it. I I think it's 100% legit. You know, that's my opinion. If it ain't, Flat Rock got one on me. That's all I'm gonna tell you. But I think it's totally legit, 100%. And I've even heard of emails, people wanting to know, was that a legitimate deal? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's
To me, it
100%
was.
legit.
I said, I know Flat Rock. I know his integrity. I've got no other reason, and it looks legit on the film itself. All right,
100%.
Flat Rock, who is dog?
He's another Alabamian.
Is he? Is he Roll
Yeah.
Tide?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's my guy.
He's from up there where you used to live.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Good
How
deal.
you
Good
doing,
deal.
brother? Good to see you, dog.
Uh-oh. Are we talking Ken folk again, Ken?
No,
Okay.
Not yet. Not that I
not
know of.
yet.
Gosh, we kind of getting left out here, ain't we, brother? We're going to save
Yeah,
each other's
look.
pen. Oh, Lordy. But anyways, guys, all right, that's good tonight. I'm glad y'all come. And anyways, we're gonna get out of here. Blue eyed, good night to you, Moggs, everybody. Rex, dog, I'm sorry, bud, but we've been on here for 2.5 hours. We're gonna get out of here. Y'all have a good night and be blessed and be safe this weekend, guys. Please do. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
enjoy yourselves and have a good time. All right, guys. We'll be see you here.
God, talk to you soon, cuz.
All right, man. I'll see you online.
Okay.
Okay,
All
guys.
right. Good
Y'all
night,
have
everybody.
Not
good night.
everybody.
Night. Night.
Bye.